Hey guys, tonight we're staying up way past bedtime, long after the janitor's keys stop jingling and the last bus sighs out of the parking lot. Outside my window, rain taps on the classroom panes like impatient fingernails, and the fluorescent tubes overhead hum that low, tired song they always do when the building thinks no one's listening. You probably won't make it to morning after this one. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop your location and local time in the comments. I always read them when the screen glow is the only light left. Now, dim the lights, maybe crack open a window for that midnight breeze, and let's walk the halls together. I'm standing in the main corridor of Westbridge High, the one that smells like wet tile and old pizza every Friday. The trophy case on my left still has the 1998 state championship photo, Coach Randall's hair higher than the scoreboard. My sneakers squeak once, twice, then fall into the rhythm of someone who knows every scuff mark between the art wing and the gym. It's 11:47 p.m. on a Thursday in October, and the building is supposed to be locked tighter than the principal's budget. Yet here I am, flashlight off, because the emergency exit signs paint everything bloody red and just bright enough to navigate. Curiosity started this. 2 weeks ago, I stayed late for chemistry tutoring. Room 204, the one with the periodic table poster peeling at the corners. While Mr. Delgado droned about molar mass, I noticed a single sheet of paper sliding out from under the door, slow as a tongue. It was thick, cream-colored, the kind the office saves for detention slips. When the bell rang and Delgado locked up, I snatched it. The heading read Silent Study Club in severe block letters. No smiley faces, no clip art. Below that, Thursdays, 11:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. West Wing Library Annex silence mandatory. Curiosity mandatory. Bring your own pen. Westbridge High was built in 1972, one of those brutalist boxes with asbestos rumors and a boiler that screams like a kettle. The West Wing Library Annex, though everyone calls it the Annex, was added in '89 after a bond passed. It's a single-story attachment jutting off the back like an afterthought, reachable only by a narrow hallway behind the band room. Kids say the architect quit mid-project. The blueprints end in pencil scribbles. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught, but the flyer felt like an engraved invitation. Tonight the rain is heavier, drumming on the skylight above the annex corridor. I pass the band room, trombones glinting like teeth in the dark, and the air changes. Colder, drier. The hum of the lights drops half a note, the way fluorescent bulbs do right before they die. My phone reads 11:29. The flyer said the side door by the loading dock stays propped with a brick on club nights. I find the brick, nudge it aside, and slip in. Inside, the annex smells of paper dust and the lavender air freshener the librarians gave up on years ago. Moonlight spills through high, narrow windows, striping the carpet in silver bars. Rows of study carrels stretch ahead, each with a green banker's lamp glowing soft and steady. 6 carrels are occupied, 6 heads bent over notebooks. No one looks up. No one breathes loud enough to hear. The only sound is the rain and the soft scratch of pens. I choose the empty carrel at the end. My chair scrapes, too loud, and every pen stops. 6 faces lift in perfect sync. Mia Park from AP Lit, nose still in her paperback copy of Frankenstein. Jamal Carter, varsity track, forearms like bridge cables. Priya Desai, debate captain, glasses catching the lamplight. 3 others I recognize but can't name. Seniors, maybe, or ghosts of seniors. Their eyes are wide, unblinking, reflecting the green glow like cats. Then, as one, they return to writing. The pens resume their whisper. A folded sheet waits on my desk, same cream stock. I unfold it. Rules of silent study. No speaking. Ever. Write what you must learn. Leave when the bell you cannot hear rings. Tell no one. At the bottom, someone has added in fresh ink. Welcome, latecomer. My pulse is a drumline in my ears, but curiosity outweighs fear for now. I uncap the pen they've provided, black gel, smooth as oil. The first page of my notebook is blank. I write, "Why are we here?" The ink spreads, darker than it should. Across the aisle, Mia tears a corner from her page, folds it tiny, and slides it toward me. I unfold it under the lamp. Because some knowledge only grows in silence. The green lamps flicker once. I glance at the wall clock, analog, hands frozen at 11:33. The second hand hasn't moved since I sat down. Rain lashes the windows harder, but inside the annex the air is still, almost reverent. I write another line. What happens if I speak? Mia's pen pauses. She underlines her previous sentence 3 times, then adds beneath it, "You'll hear yourself forever." A chill crawls up my spine, the kind that starts between the shoulder blades and settles in the teeth. I look around. The carols are arranged in a perfect hexagon, 6 plus mine making 7. In the center of the hexagon, someone has drawn a chalk circle on the carpet, faint but deliberate, the diameter of a dinner plate. Inside the circle sits a single red pencil, sharpened to a needle. Jamal notices me staring. He shakes his head almost imperceptibly, then taps his notebook twice. I flip to my next blank page. New words have appeared there, not in my handwriting. Block letters, severe as the flyer. Watch the circle. Do not cross it. The green lamps dim, like someone turned an invisible dial. Shadows stretch, thin fingers reaching across the carols. My breath fogs, although the room isn't cold. I grip the pen tighter. Curiosity is still winning, but fear is gaining fast. I write, "Who wrote this?" The ink sinks into the paper and vanishes, leaving the page blank again. Across from me, Priya closes her notebook gently, stands, and walks toward the chalk circle. She steps over it without breaking the line, kneels, and picks up the red pencil. When she straightens, her eyes are closed. She returns to her seat, opens to a fresh page, and begins to draw slow, deliberate spirals that tighten toward the center. The rain stops. The silence that follows is heavier, expectant. Somewhere deeper in the annex, a book slides off a shelf and thuds to the floor. No one flinches. My phone buzzes once in my pocket. 11:51 p.m. Impossible, because the clock still says 11:33. I silence it. When I look up, 5 of the 6 are staring at me. Only Priya keeps drawing, spirals bleeding off the page onto the desk itself, red ink seeping into the wood grain. Then the revelation hits, soft as a librarian's shush. The 6th member, the one whose face I can't place, is writing with my pen. The exact same black gel, the exact same grip. I look down. My hand is empty. The pen is gone. I never felt it leave. The green lamps pulse once, bright enough to burn after images. When my vision clears, the chalk circle is empty. The red pencil lies snapped in half, graphite heart exposed like a secret. Priya's spirals have stopped. She caps her pen, tears the page free, and folds it into a paper crane. She places the crane on the edge of my corral. It trembles, although there is no breeze. I unfold it. Inside, a single sentence in red. The first lesson is listening. The wall clock jerks. 11:33 becomes 11:34. The second hand begins its crawl. Somewhere in the stacks, another book falls. Then another. The sound is patient, inevitable, like a heartbeat starting up after cardiac arrest. I close my notebook. The cream rules sheet is gone. In its place, a new line in my own handwriting. Except I never wrote it. Stay for the second session. You'll never need words again. The green lamps settle into a steady glow. The 6 heads bend once more. I pick up the pen that has reappeared between my fingers, warm as skin. Outside, the rain begins again, softer now, almost polite. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught, but I'm here, and the night is young, and the silence is listening. The following Thursday I return, drawn by the same invisible thread that tugs at the back of my skull whenever I try to study in daylight. The side door brick is already in place, rain-washed and waiting. I step through at 11:28, the annex air greeting me like an old friend who never learned my name. The green banker's lamps burn steady, but only 5 carols are occupied now. Priya's seat is empty. The paper crane she folded last week sits on her desk, wings drooping as if exhausted. The chalk circle in the center is freshly redrawn, thicker, the red pencil shavings swept into a tidy pile beside it. I slide into my corral. The black gel pen lies across the open notebook, cap off, a bead of ink trembling at the tip. My first page from last session is still there, but the questions I wrote, why are we here? What happens if I speak? Have been neatly crossed out in red spirals. In their place, a single line in block letters I don't recognize. Write what you must learn. Jamal gives me the smallest nod, the kind track kids exchange before a relay handoff. Mia's paperback is closed tonight. She's copying something from a library book the size of a phone directory. The other 3, still nameless to me, write with identical posture, shoulders curved like question marks. No one speaks. No one needs to. The silence has weight, the way deep water does. Curiosity is quieter tonight, almost polite. Fear has taken the front seat, but it's the useful kind, the kind that sharpens your hearing until you can count heartbeats in the next room. I uncap the pen. The nib scratches once, twice, then settles into a rhythm I didn't choose. Words appear faster than thought. Westbridge High, built 1972, original blueprints filed in the county clerk's office, roll 47B. West Wing Annex added 1989 after Proposition 12 passed 52 to 48. Architect, Daniel Voss, resigned March 1990, no forwarding address. I stare at the lines. I didn't know any of that. I've never seen roll 47B. My hand keeps moving. Mythic element. The Silent Study Club began in 1991 when senior Lily Cho vanished during finals week. Last seen entering the annex at 11:17 p.m. Security footage shows her walking in. No footage shows her leaving. PA system played 3 seconds of static at 11:33 exactly, then nothing. Her student ID was found inside the chalk circle, photo side up, eyes scratched out. The pen pauses. I flex my fingers. They ache like I've been gripping a bat. Across the hexagon, Mia tears a strip from her page and slides it over. I unfold it under the lamp. Lily is still here. So are the others. The green lamps flicker in sequence, left to right, like a slow wave. The temperature drops 5 degrees. I feel it in my teeth. My breath fogs again. I write. How many others? The ink sinks and reforms. 7 seats. Always 7. One leaves, one arrives. Priya's paper crane lifts off the empty desk, caught in a draft I can't feel. It flutters once, lands on the chalk circle, and bursts into flame without sound or smoke. The ashes rearrange themselves into tiny block letters. Welcome back. Fear sharpens into something crystalline. I look up. The 5 remaining members are staring at the circle, not at me. Jamal's pen hovers above his page. A single drop of ink falls, spreads, becomes a perfect red circle. He blinks, slowly, then resumes writing. The wall clock, still analog, still stubborn, clicks to 11:33. The second hand freezes. Somewhere in the stacks, a book thuds. Another. The rhythm is familiar now, patient. I flip to a fresh page. New words appear before I touch the paper. Realistic anchor. The annex was built over the old maintenance tunnel system. Access hatch beneath the circulation desk. Padlocked since 1995 after a sophomore broke in and spray-painted Lily was here on the concrete. Custodians still check the lock every Friday. My pulse sinks with the silent thudding of falling books. I write. What happens at 1 a.m.? The pen answers itself. The bell you cannot hear rings. You leave, or you don't. Mia closes her library tome. The cover reads Westbridge Yearbook 1991 in cracked gold foil. She opens it to a marked page and turns it toward me. A group photo, 7 students around a study table, green lamps glowing. Lily Cho stands in the back row, eyes scratched out with what looks like a red pencil. The caption, Silent Study Club, Knowledge Without Noise. The photo is dated May 15th, 1991, 1 week before she vanished. The green lamps dim to embers. Shadows pool in the carols, thick as spilled ink. My notebook fills itself now, pages flipping on their own. Reflective thought. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught, but silence is a classroom that never closes. The chalk circle pulses, once like a heartbeat. The red pencil shavings rise, swirl, form the outline of a girl. She has no face, only the suggestion of hair and a uniform skirt. She points at Priya's empty chair. The outline collapses back into dust. Jamal stands first. He places his notebook in the center of the hexagon, open to a page covered in track times. 100-meter splits for 100-meter splits, all improving impossibly. He steps over the chalk line, kneels, and presses his palm to the carpet. The circle glows faint red. When he straightens, his eyes are closed. He returns to his seat, but his chair is pushed in. He doesn't sit. He simply stands behind it, pen in hand, writing on air. The motion is perfect, but no ink falls. One by one, the others follow. Mia leaves her yearbook open to Lily's photo. The scratched-out eyes have been filled in with fresh red spirals. The nameless 3-leaf folded notes, origami shapes I can't identify. When the 5th member steps back, only my Carell and Jamal's occupied chair remain inside the hexagon. The wall clock jerks. 11:33 becomes 11:34. The second hand crawls. The falling books stop. In the sudden hush, I hear it. The faintest hum from the PA speakers mounted high in the corners. Not static, music. A music box version of the school fight song, slowed to funeral pace. I write. What is the music? The pen answers. The bell you cannot hear. It's almost 1 o'clock. My phone buzzes. 12:57 a.m. Impossible. The clock says 11:34. I silence the phone. The green lamps brighten, harsh as interrogation lights. The shadows retreat, but the air is heavier now, pressing on my eardrums. Jamal opens his eyes. They're milk white, no pupils. He smiles, not kindly, not cruelly, just the way a door smiles when it knows you'll walk through. He places his pen on my desk. It's warm, pulsing faintly. The notebook flips to a blank page. In the center, a single red spiral begins to draw itself, tightening, until it becomes a dot. The dot spreads into letters. Your turn to leave a seat empty. The PA music swells, tinny and sweet. The chalk circle flares. The origami shapes unfold on their own, revealing blank pages. The yearbook slams shut. The green lamps strobe once. White, black, white. And when they steady, Jamal is gone. His chair is pushed in. His notebook is gone. The hexagon holds 6 carols again. Mine and 5 others. The wall clock reads 12:59. The second hand races. The PA cuts to static, then to a single word, whispered through every speaker in the building. Stay. The green lamps dim to candlelight. My pen moves without me. Revelation, the club isn't recruiting. It's graduating. I close the notebook. The cream rules sheet has returned, updated. Rules of silent study. No speaking. Ever. Write what you must learn. Leave when the bell you cannot hear rings. Tell no one. One seat must always open. At the bottom, in red, next week, bring a replacement. The rain starts again outside, soft as forgiveness. The PA falls silent. The green lamps settle into their familiar glow. The 5 remaining heads bend over their work. I pick up the pen, Jamal's pen, and feel it settle into my grip like it was molded there. The notebook opens itself. A fresh page waits. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught, but the semester is far from over, and the silence has perfect attendance. The third Thursday arrives with fog so thick the parking lot lamps look like dying coals. I'm early, 11:19 p.m., because the flyer that appeared in my locker this morning was written on the back of my own chemistry quiz, the one I bombed last period. Red ink bled through the Scantron bubbles. Bring a replacement. The side door brick is already gone. Someone kicked it into the bushes. I step inside and the annex smells different tonight. Ozone and wet paper, like a copier left running in a thunderstorm. For carols glow. For heads bend. Priya's paper crane is ash in the chalk circle. Jamal's chair is pushed in, notebook missing. My seat waits, black gel pen uncapped, a fresh spiral already tightening on the open page. The wall clock is stuck at 11:33 again, but the second hand twitches like it's fighting a seizure. I sit. The chair is warm, as if someone just stood up. Curiosity is a dull ache now, the kind you get from pressing a bruise. Fear has learned my name and uses it often. I uncap the pen anyway. The first thing I notice, the PA speakers are humming before I write a word. That same music box fight song, but tonight it's layered under something else. Whispers, dozens of them, overlapping like kids trading secrets in the cafeteria. I catch fragments. Molar mass, relay split. Lily was here, stay. Mia slides a note across the hexagon. It's the detention slip the club started on. Cream stock, now soft as cloth from handling. New rule added in red. Do not read the walls. I glance up. The cinder block walls I've never really looked at are covered in writing. Floor to ceiling, pencil, pen, marker, something that might be blood. Equations, poems, grocery lists, suicide notes, love confessions, all in handwriting too small to read from here. The letters crawl when I blink. I look away. The pen moves. Realistic anchor. Westbridge High schedule, late October 2025. Thursday night is custodial deep clean. Crew starts in the gym at 10 p.m., works east to west. They skip the annex. Official reason, budget shortfall, low traffic wing. Unofficial, last year the night crew found every book on the third shelf pulled out exactly 6 inches. No footprints. They refuse to return. The whispers from the PA swell, then cut to a single voice. Female, young, distorted like a tape played backward. Rule 6 is a lie. The green lamp strobe. Shadows peel off the walls and stretch across the carpet, fingers first. One shadow stops at the chalk circle, kneels, and traces the line with a nail that isn't there. The chalk smokes. The circle widens by an inch. I write. Who is speaking? The ink bubbles, then reforms. Lily Cho, class of 91. She never graduated. Across from me, the debate captain, Priya's replacement, a junior named Ezra whose glasses reflect the lamps like twin moons, tears a page from his notebook and folds it into a paper boat. He sets it sailing across the carpet. It glides straight to the chalk circle and keeps going, passing through the line without disturbing the chalk. The boat stops in the center, unfolds itself, and the paper is blank except for one red word. Listen. The PA crackles. The fight song is gone. Now it's just breathing, slow, deliberate, through every speaker in the building. In the gym, in the band room, in the basement boiler room, no one's opened since 2003. The breathing syncs with the twitching second hand. In, out, in, out. Ezra stands. He doesn't step over the circle. He steps into it. The chalk flares white. His shadow detaches, walks 3 paces behind him, and keeps walking when he stops. The shadow Ezra raises a hand that isn't attached to anything and writes on the air. The letters hang, glowing. The walls are the textbook. The real Ezra sits back down, eyes rolled white. His pen keeps writing, but his hand is limp. The pen moves itself, carving grooves into the desk. Splinters curl like wood shavings. Mia passes me the 1991 yearbook, open to a new page. It's the club photo again, but now there are 8 figures. The 8th is me. Same hoodie, same tired eyes, same pen in hand. The caption has changed. Silent Study Club, knowledge without noise. EST 1991, Infinity. My photo's eyes are scratched out in fresh red spirals. Fear is a living thing in my throat. I swallow it and write. How do I leave? The pen answers before the question finishes forming. You don't. You replace. The breathing on the PA hitches, turns wet. Something coughs, a sound like drowning in dust. The green lamps dim until the only light is the glow from the chalk circle. The shadows on the walls start to move in unison, raising invisible pens, writing on nothing. The whispers return, clearer now, a chorus. Read the walls, read the walls. I stand. My chair scrapes like a scream. The foreheads snap up. Their mouths are moving, but no sound comes out. They're mouthing the same phrase, over and over. I read their lips. Don't cross the line. The chalk circle is 3 feet wide now. Inside it, the paper boat has become a paper girl, flat, two-dimensional, but standing. She has no mouth. Her arms are raised, palms out. The red spirals from my yearbook photo drip from her fingertips onto the carpet, where they sizzle and spell. Reflective thought. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught, but the walls remember every student who tried to cheat. The PA speakers pop. A new voice, male, older, the architect maybe, whispers through static. Voss, Daniel. Resigned March 15th, 90. Reason, structural instability beneath annex. Tunnel collapse risk. Recommendation, evacuate. Denied. The breathing stops. In the silence, I hear it, scratching. Not pens on paper, fingernails on cinder block. The writing on the walls is changing, letters rearranging themselves into a single sentence that crawls around the room like a marquee. Bring the replacement or become the lesson. Ezra's shadow detaches again. This time it walks to my Corel, picks up my pen, and writes on my forearm in red ink that burns cold. You are the replacement. The pain snaps me back. I jerk away. The shadow smiles with Ezra's mouth, but no teeth. The green lamps explode. 1, 2, 3, 4, glass raining like brittle hail. Darkness swallows the annex except for the chalk circle, which now glows like a full moon. The paper girl inside it grows, unfolding, until she's life-sized, still flat, still mouthless. She steps out of the circle. The chalk line seals behind her. The remaining 3 members stand in unison. They form a line between me and the exit. Their shadows stay seated, still writing. The real bodies walk backward, slow, deliberate, until they're pressed against the wall of text. The writing crawls over them, letters burrowing into skin like parasites. They don't flinch. Their eyes are grateful. Mia is last. She places the yearbook in the chalk circle. It opens to my photo. The scratched-out eyes are gone. Now they're wide open, pupils dilated to black holes. She mounts. Thank you. The PA system screams. One sustained note, glass shatter high. The emergency lights kick on, blood red. In that light, I see the truth. The annex has no exit door anymore. Just a wall where the door was, cinder block seamless, painted with the same crawling text. The sentence loops endlessly. Silent study continues. The paper girl reaches me. Her hand is ice. She presses a finger to my lips. Where she touches, my voice goes numb. I try to speak. Nothing. Not even breath. She nods, satisfied, and dissolves into red spirals that sink into the carpet. The chalk circle collapses inward, becoming a hole. Not dark, bright, like looking into a furnace made of paper. From it rises a stack of cream detention slips, floating like ash. They arrange themselves into a new rule sheet and drift to my desk. Rules of silent study. No speaking. Ever. Write what you must learn. Leave when the bell you cannot hear rings. Tell no one. One seat must always open. Do not read the walls. The replacement must be willing. At the bottom, in my own handwriting, I volunteer. The wall clock shatters. Glass rains, but the hands keep spinning. 11:33, 11:34, 11:35, faster, faster, until the numbers blur. The red emergency lights strobe and sink. The 3 remaining bodies slump. Their shadows keep writing. The hole in the floor widens, edges curling like burning film. I pick up the pen. It's heavier now, warm as a pulse. The notebook opens to a blank page. I write a single line. Next Thursday, I'll bring Connor from Kim. He owes me notes. The ink sinks, satisfied. The hole seals. The green lamps, one by one, relight, softer than before. The walls go blank, text retreating into the cinder block like breath on a cold window. The exit door reappears, brick propped neatly in place. The PA whispers, gentle now, almost proud. Class dismissed. See you next week. I stand. My shadow stays seated, already writing tomorrow's lesson. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught, but the curriculum is set, and I have a replacement to recruit. Thursday again, and the fog has teeth. It chews the streetlights into smears and leaves the school a hulking shape against a sky the color of old bruises. I walk the service road behind the gym at 11:24 p.m., Connor's chemistry notes folded in my pocket like a death warrant. He thinks we're cramming for the retake. I let him believe it. The side door brick is missing. The door stands ajar, exhaling cold that smells of chalk dust and something metallic, like blood under a bandage. 3 carols glow tonight. 3 heads. Ezra's seat is empty, pushed in, desk wiped clean except for a single red spiral burned into the wood. The chalk circle is gone. In its place, a perfect circle of salt, grains glittering like frost under the banker's lamps. My notebook waits, open to a fresh page. The pen is already writing. Realistic Anchor, Westbridge High, October 30th, 2025. Custodial log notes, salt spill, in annex at 2217. No source found. Janitor Ramirez signs off. Not my mess. Connor steps in behind me, sneakers squeaking once on the wet tile. He starts to speak. Dude, this place is creepy after ho. I press a finger to his lips before the word finishes. His eyes widen. I shake my head slow. He swallows the rest, nods, follows me to the hexagon. I point to Ezra's old corral. He sits. The chair accepts him like it was waiting. The 2 remaining originals, Mia and a girl whose name I still don't know, don't look up. Their pens move in perfect sync, a soft SHHH across paper. The PA speakers breathe, slow and tidal. Connor pulls out his own pen, a cheap blue Bic. I slide Jamal's black gel across the desk. He hesitates, then takes it. The Bic stays in his fist, uncapped, ink beading like sweat. Curiosity flickers in his eyes, bright and stupid. Fear hasn't found him yet. I envy that. My notebook fills itself. Mythic element. The salt circle is new. Rumor says Lily Cho's mother scattered it in 91, trying to trap whatever took her daughter. The grains absorbed every word spoken in grief, every curse, every prayer. Now the circle feeds on silence instead. Connor writes his first line, hesitant, blocky. What is this place? The ink spreads, thins, becomes part of the page. Mia tears a strip from her notebook, folds it into a tiny envelope, slides it to him. He opens it under the lamp. You'll know when you leave a seat empty. The green lamps dim by degrees, the way daylight fades when you're too lost in a book to notice. Shadows lengthen, but they don't stretch. They pool, thick as oil, rising until the carols are islands in black water. Connor's breath fogs. He looks at me, mouthing cold. I shrug. The salt circle flares, a brief magnesium white, then settles into a low sodium glow. I write, how many have vanished? The pen answers in Connor's handwriting, though his hand is still. 7 seats. Always 7. Tonight, 4. The PA crackles. A new voice, Principal Hargrove, dead since 2018, reads the morning announcements backward. Lockers assignments, lunch menu, fire drill schedule, all reversed, words slurred into something almost Latin. Connor's knuckles whiten around the pen. He writes, "This a prank?" The ink sinks and reappears in the margin, red. Pranks end. This doesn't. The nameless girl stands. She walks to the circulation desk, the one with the padlocked hatch. The padlock clicks open though she doesn't touch it. She lifts the hatch. Stairs descend into darkness that smells of wet earth and old pennies. She descends 3 steps, then stops. Her shadow stays topside, turns, and waves at us with fingers too long. The real girl keeps going until only her hair is visible, then nothing. The hatch closes. The padlock snaps shut. The shadow sits in her chair and resumes writing with a pen made of darkness. Connor's eyes are saucers. He starts to stand. I grip his wrist hard. The salt circle hisses where his shadow crosses it. He sits. The shadow girl's pen scratches louder, frantic. Words appear on the wall behind her, carved deep enough to bleed dust. Replacement accepted. The green lamp strobe. Connor's notebook flips pages on its own. Every sheet is filled now. Equations, track splits, debate rebuttals. My chemistry quiz answers in his handwriting, though he's never seen them. The last page holds a single photograph, glossy, fresh. It's Connor, standing in the annex doorway, 11:24 p.m. timestamp. His mouth is open mid-word. The word is frozen, dude. Mia closes her yearbook. The cover now reads Westbridge Yearbook Eternal. She opens it to the club photo. 9 figures. Connor is in it, eyes already spiraling red. The caption, Silent Study Club, Knowledge Without Noise. EST 1991, Infinity. She tears the page free, folds it into a paper airplane, and sails it into the salt circle. The plane circles once, twice, then dives. The salt swallows it without a sound. Connor's pen moves without him now. He watches, fascinated as it writes. Reflective thought. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught, but absence is the strictest teacher. The PA announcements end in a wet click. Silence rushes in, absolute. Even the rain outside has stopped. Connor's shadow detaches, walks to the salt circle, and lies down. The grains part, accepted, close over. The real Connor slumps forward, forehead on the desk. His breathing slows, matches the title PA. In, out, in, out. Mia stands. She is the last original. She places her pen, my first pen, the one that vanished week 1, on Connor's desk. It rolls, stops against his limp fingers. She walks backward to the wall of now blank cinder block. The surface ripples like water. She steps through. The wall seals. No seam, no sound. 2 carols glow. Connor's and mine. The salt circle is pristine again, grains rearranged into a perfect spiral. The PA breathes once, deep, then speaks in Connor's voice, recorded, looped, slowed. Dude, this place is. The loop cuts. The green lamps brighten to surgical white. My notebook is nearly full. The final page holds a new rule sheet. Cream stock, edges singed. Rules of silent study. No speaking. Ever. Write what you must learn. Leave when the bell you cannot hear rings. Tell no one. One seat must always open. Do not read the walls. The replacement must be willing. The circle chooses who graduates. At the bottom, in Connor's handwriting, I stay. The wall clock, still shattered, somehow reads 12:59. The hands spin backward. 12:58, 12:58. 57. Connor lifts his head. His eyes are milk white, pupils spiraling red. He smiles the way Jamal did, the way Ezra did. He stands, pushes his chair in, and walks to the salt circle. He doesn't step over. He steps in. The grains rise, swirl, form a pillar of salt that hardens into a statue. Connor, mid-stride, mouth open on that forever dude. The statue cracks down the middle. Connor steps out the other side, shadowless, pinless, empty-handed. He sits in my corral, my chair, my notebook. I am standing outside the hexagon now. I don't remember moving. The green lamps dim until only Connor's corral glows. He writes one last line, then closes the book. The PA whispers, proud. Perfect attendance. The salt statue crumbles into dust that sweeps itself into a neat pile beside the circulation desk. The hatch is open again. Stairs descend. Connor stands, walks down 3 steps, stops. His shadow, my shadow, waves from the top. The hatch closes. The padlock clicks. One corral glows. Mine. But I'm not in it. The notebook opens itself. The pen writes. Revelation, the club isn't a circle. It's a chain. Every replacement tightens the link. The wall where Mia vanished ripples again. A hand emerges. Mine, but older, veins like blue highways. It beckons. I step forward. The cinder block is soft as curtain. I pass through. On the other side, the annex, but wrong. Carols stretch into infinity, green lamps marching like soldiers. Every seat occupied, every head bent, every pen moving. I recognize no one and everyone. Lily Cho sits 3 rows down, eyes intact, smiling. Jamal waves from the back. Priya folds a paper crane that flies forever without landing. A single empty corral waits at the front. My name is carved into the desk. The pen is warm. The notebook is blank. I sit. The PA breathes, satisfied. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught, but the semester is eternal, and the silence has one more seat to fill. The annex is a cathedral now, vaulted with darkness and lit only by the single green lamp above my corral. The infinite rows have collapsed into one long table that stretches both ways until the eye gives up. 7 seats again, but the wood is older, scarred by generations of fingernails. My name is no longer carved. It is burned, the letters still smoking. The black gel pen lies across the open notebook like a sleeping adder. The salt circle is gone. In its place, a mirror, upright, the height of a door, frame carved with every rule the club has ever whispered. The glass is black until I look. Then it shows me standing behind myself, one heartbeat late. Curiosity is a fossil in my chest. Fear is the air I breathe. Revelation waits in the margins, patient as a grating pen. I sit. The chair does not creak. It sighs, the way a coffin lid does when the earth finally settles. My notebook is thicker than memory. The first page I turn to is today's chemistry quiz, but every answer is wrong on purpose. Red X is bleeding into spirals. Connor's handwriting, my handwriting now, fills the bottom. Realistic anchor, Westbridge High, November 6th, 2025. Emergency faculty meeting, 3:15 p.m. Agenda item 4. Unexplained absences, Annex Wing. Motion to install cameras denied, budget. Motion to board up side door tabled, superintendent absent. Custodial log, salt pile swept. Again, the PA system is silent, but the silence has texture, like velvet soaked in water. I write, who is left? The pen answers in a child's scrawl I don't recognize. You. And the bell. The mirror ripples. My reflection steps forward until our noses almost touch the glass. Its mouth moves a full second before mine would. I haven't decided to speak, but the reflection has. Say it. The word tastes like rust on my tongue. I swallow it. The reflection smiles with my teeth, but none of my mercy. It lifts the pen from my real hand. I feel the weight leave and writes on the inside of the glass, letters backward, burning white. Breaking the silence is the final exam. The green lamp above me stutters, then holds. The other 6 seats are occupied by versions of me. Freshman year, acne and braces. Sophomore slump, hoodie 2 sizes too big. Junior year, eyes already tired. Senior me, hollow cheeks. College me, degree in hand. Middle-aged me, wedding ring missing. They all write in perfect unison, pins scratching like insects. The sound is inside my skull. I try to stand. The chair refuses. The notebook flips itself to a fresh page. A single line appears in red. Speak your name and graduate. The mirror version of me presses its palm to the glass. The surface softens, becomes liquid. Its hand emerges, fingers first, then wrist, then forearm. The skin is translucent. I see the pen moving inside the veins like a trapped fish. It reaches for my throat. I mouth, no? The word has no sound, but the mirror hears. It laughs with my voice, cracked and echoing. The hand clamps around my neck, cold, wet, inevitable. My real hand lifts the pen against my will. It writes, mythic element. The mirror is the PA system's mouth. Every word ever spoken in Westbridge High since 1972 is stored in the glass. Silence starves it. Speech feeds it. The club was built to keep it quiet. The grip tightens. Black spots bloom at the edges of my vision. The 6 other MES pause their writing, look up in perfect sync. Their mouths open. No sound, but I feel the vibration in my bones. A chorus of every name I've ever had, every nickname, every lie. The mirror hand forces my head closer until my lips brush the glass. It tastes like copper and chalk. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught, but the final is oral, and the proctor is starving. The notebook slams shut on its own. The impact jars my teeth. The pen rolls, stops at the edge of the desk, and falls. It hangs in midair, point down, spinning slowly. The mirror hand releases my throat, but doesn't retreat. It hovers, waiting. The PA system crackles to life, not from the ceiling, but from the mirror itself. A voice I almost recognize, my own, recorded last week when I whispered Connor's name in the hallway. Replays, slowed, stretched, distorted. Ku, n, orr. The spinning pen stops, point aimed at my heart. The 6 other MES stand. They walk backward into the mirror, melting through the glass like smoke through a keyhole. The surface ripples, calms. Only my reflection remains, hand still out, palm up. It speaks with my mouth, but the voice is every missing student layered into one. Trade a word for a life. 1 syllable. That's the tuition. My throat burns. I haven't spoken in weeks, maybe months. Time is a suggestion here. The silence has grown roots in my lungs. I open my mouth. Nothing comes. The reflection nods, encouraging. Its hand cups my cheek, gentle now, almost loving. The notebook reopens. A new page, blank except for a single red prompt. Say it. The pen hovers above the paper, trembling. I watch my own hand reach for it. The fingers are not mine. The nails are chewed to the quick, the knuckles scarred from a fight I don't remember. The pen touches the page. Ink flows upward, against gravity, forming letters in the air. The reflection leans closer. Its breath fogs the glass between us. The letters keep forming. AM. The green lamp explodes. Darkness swallows everything except the mirror and the floating word. The reflection's eyes are black holes ringed in red spirals. The final letter rises. Sorry. The word hangs complete, glowing, then shatters into shards of light that slice across the annex. The mirror cracks along every rule carved in its frame. The hand jerks back, severed at the wrist by the breaking glass. Black ink, not blood, pours from the stump, pooling on my side of the mirror, spelling in frantic cursive. You spoke. The PA system screams, a sound like every fire alarm in the building triggered at once. The infinite table folds in on itself, carols collapsing into origami cranes that burst into flame. The 6 other MES reappear, burning, mouths open in silent howls. They reach for me, fingers melting into wax. I stand. The chair falls backward and keeps falling, shrinking, until it's a speck in the distance. The notebook is in my hand, heavy as guilt. The pages are blank now, every word erased. The pen is gone. The mirror shatters completely. Shards hang in the air, each reflecting a different moment. Lily Cho stepping into the annex in 1991. Jamal handing off his pen. Connor's statue cracking. My own face, older, standing in this exact spot, holding this exact book. The PA voice, mine, layered with every graduate, whispers through the shards. Detention served. Run. The floor tilts. The annex becomes a hallway. Familiar. The one outside room 204, but the lockers are mirrors too. Every door a reflection. My footsteps echo, but the sound is ahead of me, chasing. I run. The chemistry classroom door is open. Inside, the periodic table poster peels like skin. Mr. Delgado sits at his desk, head down, grading papers that bleed red. He doesn't look up. I burst into the main corridor. The trophy case is empty, glass fogged with breath that isn't mine. The emergency exit signs pulse. Exit. Trap. Exit. Trap. I slam through the side door by the loading dock. Outside, the fog is gone. The sky is clear, stars sharp as broken glass. The clock on the gym reads 1 a.m. exactly. A bell rings, not in my ears, but in my bones. The sound is gentle, almost kind. Behind me, the annex door swings shut. The brick is back in place. I turn. The building looks normal, asleep. But the windows of the annex wing glow green, steady, patient. My notebook is still in my hand. I open it. One page remains. In my handwriting, finally, truly mine. Revelation, the silence was never the punishment. The speaking was. I tear the page free. The wind takes it, carries it toward the roof. It circles once, lands on the gutter, and dissolves into red spirals that drip like rain. I walk home. The streets are empty. My shadow lags 3 steps behind, riding on the pavement with every footfall. I don't look back. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught, but I graduated tonight, and the diploma is the word I finally let die. The night after graduation, I don't go home. I walk the perimeter of Westbridge High until the sky bruises into dawn, circling the building like a moth that's learned the flame's name. The annex windows are dark now, bankers' lamps extinguished, but I feel the pull anyway, a low thrum behind the sternum, the way a missing tooth aches when you tongue the gap. My shadow has caught up. It walks beside me, silent, penless, ordinary. The notebook is gone. I left it on the loading dock, pages flapping like a wounded bird until the wind carried it through a storm drain. I didn't watch where it went. Curiosity is a scar. Fear is the itch beneath it. Revelation is the quiet that follows surgery. I stop at the main entrance. The glass doors are locked, chains threaded through the handles, a yellow caution tape fluttering like a cheap party streamer. A new sign, fresh vinyl, reads, Westbridge High. Demolition scheduled November 15th, 2025. That's today. The date is today. I check my phone, 5:47 a.m., battery at 3%. The screen glitches, then displays the old analog clock face from the annex, stuck at 11:33. I power it off. A custodial truck idles in the lot. Ramirez, the janitor who signs off on salt spills, leans against the hood drinking coffee from a thermos. He sees me, lifts a hand in lazy greeting. Early riser, huh? Or late sleeper? His voice is hoarse, kind. I open my mouth to answer. Nothing comes. Not stage fright, absence. The space where words lived is cocked shut. I shrug. He nods like that's answer enough, climbs into the truck, and drives around back. I follow on foot. The demolition crew is already here. 3 guys in hard hats, one operating a wrecking ball the size of a compact car. The annex juts off the rear like a tumor. They've marked it with orange X's. A clipboard hangs from the fence. West Wing Annex. Asbestos abatement complete. Safe for demo. The side door is gone, replaced by plywood. Someone has spray painted across it in dripping red. Lily was here. The wrecking ball swings. The first hit is gentle, almost courteous, a tap on the roof that sends dust puffing out the high windows. The second caves the skylight. Glass rains in slow motion, catching the sunrise like cheap diamonds. I stand at the fence, fingers curled through chain link. The third swing takes out the circulation desk. I hear the hatch splinter, the padlock ping off into the rubble. The fourth obliterates the carols. Green lamps shatter in sequence. Pop, 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 like bones breaking in a quiet room. No one screams. No shadows flee. Just dust and the smell of old paper finally meeting air. The crew pauses for coffee. I slip through a gap in the fence. The annex is a ribcage now, walls peeled open, insulation hanging like entrails. I step over rebar and broken tile until I find the chalk circle, or what's left of it. The carpet is gone, but the outline is burned into the concrete. Perfect, the diameter of a dinner plate. In the center, the red pencil, snapped in half, graphite heart still gleaming. I pick it up. It's warm. The notebook page I tore out flutters from the wreckage, lands at my feet. The wind has stopped. It shouldn't move. I crouch. The paper is blank except for one line, fresh, in my handwriting that isn't mine. Realistic anchor. Demolition permit 25 to 1187. Signed 4:12 a.m. by Superintendent Alvarez. Note: Annex never on original blueprints. Remove entirely. I fold the page into a paper crane. It trembles, then flies straight up through the open roof into the pale sky. It circles once, twice, then dissolves into red ash that drifts back down like snow. The wrecking ball swings again. The floor collapses. The maintenance tunnel hatch is visible now, yawning open, stairs descending into black. A single green banker's lamp rolls out, cord severed, bulb intact. It stops at my shoes, still glowing. I pick it up. The light is steady, patient. The PA system, impossible, severed wires dangling, crackles one last time from somewhere inside the rubble. My own voice, recorded the night I spoke. I am sorry. The words echo off the remaining walls, bounce through the tunnel, fade into the earth. The lamp in my hand flickers, then dies. The crew chief shouts, "Clear the site." I walk out the way I came. No one stops me. The fence gap has closed. I don't remember climbing back through. Ramirez is waiting by the truck, thermos empty. He offers me a ride. I shake my head. My voice is still gone, but the silence feels different now. Clean, like a classroom after the last bell. Chairs on desks, floors waxed to a shine. I walk home through morning traffic. Kids on buses stare out fogged windows. One waves. I wave back with the hand that isn't holding the dead lamp. My shadow keeps pace, ordinary, penless. The red pencil is in my pocket, warm as a secret. At my house, the porch light is off. Inside, my mom left a note on the fridge, gone to Aunt Linda's for the weekend. Leftovers in the microwave. Love you. I heat nothing. I sit at the kitchen table and place the lamp in the center. The bulb is dark, but the bass hums faintly, the same low note the fluorescents used to sing. I take out the red pencil. My notebook is gone, but the table is bare wood. I write one line. Reflective thought. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught, but graduation is just the hallway between classrooms. The graphite snaps. The broken half rolls away, stops against the lamp. The hum stops. The kitchen light flickers once, then steadies. Outside, demolition continues. I hear it faintly. Metal on concrete. The patient unmaking of a place that never officially existed. I close my eyes. In the darkness behind the lids, the annex rebuilds itself. Carols glowing, 7 seats, 1 empty. The chalk circle redraws. The PA breathes, waiting. But I am not there. I am here, in the quiet after the bell, the silence that belongs to the living. The red pencil crumbles to dust in my hand. The grains spell one final word on the table, then scatter. Free. I sweep them into the trash with the broken lamp. The house is ordinary. The day is ordinary. I open the window. November air smells of leaf mold and distant snow. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught, but the ones that were, I carry in the space where my voice used to be. And that is enough. The demolition finishes by dusk. Westbridge High stands gutted, the annex reduced to a rectangle of raw earth. News vans come and go. No one mentions missing students. The yearbooks are boxed for storage, the trophy case melted for scrap. Ramirez retires early, cashes out, moves to Florida. The red pencil dust is vacuumed into a landfill, the green lamp crushed in a compactor. The PA system is scrapped for copper. Years later, on a Thursday in late October, a new building rises where the annex fell. Modular classrooms, bright LEDs, motion sensors that kill the lights when no one's there. The first night class is chemistry, 7 to 9 p.m. The teacher, young, nervous, props the side door with a brick so latecomers can slip in. At 11:30,